Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Nathan. On this planet, we send it. What we're going to be doing today is a garden update. Basically, what the purpose of this project is I'm kind of vlogging where things stand just before I go and get on my red eye tonight. And then you guys will be seeing this video out in a few days, probably about middle of next week. And then so when I get back, this vlog will then set as a timestamp on where things were and then where things are when I get back. All right, let's go ahead and send it. Strawberries still coming in, but they are coming to an end. Have been absolutely delicious. It's been a great season, and it looks like I'm pretty sure this little growth coming in right now is going to be the last for a couple of weeks, if not a couple of months. Within the in-ground garden, my family actually planted some different lettuces and everything, and it looks like maybe some carrots, and we already had the arugula self-seeded and coming up over here. So we'll see how much everything grows or still remains upon my return. Here in Kale Corner, the kale actually was growing a little too fast. It must not be getting enough sun way back here. It's growing too tall and too fast, so it's, as you can see, it's kind of falling all over on each other. So I'm gonna have to maybe once we're done harvesting this, think of other things. However, the hops are looking really good, and these things are coming in and looking great. These things are just I'm not sure when it's going to be time to harvest. I'm actually going to probably have to look at another YouTube and see when that is, but these things all the way up and down the vine are looking really good. After cleaning everything up in the vertical garden, the tomatoes over here, since they're getting a lot more sunlight, are doing significantly better. These things it seems like they've almost doubled in size since the last garden update. This one's kind of leaning over in two different directions, all the way over here, and then this same one, it's basically the same one that goes down here. So yeah, the tomatoes all up and down are doing great. I'm pretty sure it's a similar story now that the sweet peppers are getting more sunlight and probably even a little bit more water exposure, but regardless of the sun, we're getting them popping up all over the place. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 6 right now. So I'm not sure, 7. I'm not sure if these are the red ones or the green ones, but we'll know in a little bit. And yeah, this thing is actually doing pretty well now. And the other 2 tomato plants here at the end are actually starting to produce, and these are starting to come in. So we got 1, 2, I got a third one down there on this one. There might be another one I'm not seeing. And then over here, we got at least one towards the bottom, and I'm seeing some flowering, some more will be coming in. So the good thing is now that, like I said, that I've cleared the space and it's getting the sun, it's also easier for me to manipulate the vine around the trellis and give it its support it needs. Plum season is done gone. They were absolutely delicious, but there are no more on the dual grafted tree. And as a matter of fact, let's come around the other variety, the peach here on the other side, I believe is done too. Now we did really good on the plums. I think we probably got maybe 70% harvest, as in where the animals didn't get them. But the peaches still pretty successful. I think we're somewhere in like the 50 to 60% range. And I mean, if we just jump over here real fast, you can see that these peaches, they come in and the animals just get to them actually a little bit before we consider them ripe. So they're kind of ahead of them. And I couldn't find my bird net to get on here. So unfortunately, we're probably losing a little bit more than we needed to this year on the peaches. But they still have been delicious though when we've gotten them. Now, just the quick update I wanted to do on these 2 semi-dwarf trees, besides highlight all the goji berries that are coming in, that's pretty cool, is this one right here. I'm very curious to see what they're going to be, but this one just had 2 major growth spurts, got maybe even 3, one here, one here, one here. That's all new growth, and actually we got new growth down here coming in. This is looking really good, so I'm pretty happy with how this one's doing. And this one also seems like it may have grown another 4 or 5 inches in the last week. These are really coming up. That looks like we're starting to get some suckers already on this one, so that's a good sign. It's trying to grow, but sorry, we're going to remain sucker free, and so those are now off. The Mexican lime tree is doing really well. We'll come back to the bottom here in a second, but I just kind of wanted to highlight, I'll take my finger, like you can see right there, that we're starting now to get little clusters of limes as they come in. So every period of growth, there's more and more limes, or every period we have limes, there's more and more. Now, I'm actually contemplating basically changing the sucker line, which is I might keep some of these. Maybe not. Maybe I might keep the ones that are below here and keep the ones that are basically at this branch and up. And the reason why is because we step back out here, you can see how I got a nice sort of conical shape coming up around here. And this will, if I can get this growth to continue on, this will be a nice area to keep the limes down low. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do have a tool to go ahead and reach those up there, but in order to keep things basically at my, let's just say, vertically challenged elevation, then, maybe setting up the V a little bit lower will be more cost advantageous, or correction, just more advantageous, period. And so we'll see how that goes. I'll think about it on my trip and we'll see what happens when I get back. All right, after I enlisted some of the help of my mother-in-law, we are currently shaping the fig tree, at least with the branch that's down here, and you can see it's sort of staked in there. It used to be coming all the way down in here and basically coming almost directly pointed to where I'm at and covering this one down here. And this one was directly on top of it. We probably need to fix this one a little bit, but as you can see, we're attempting to shape this tree so we don't necessarily cut the branches off at the end of the season, that we hopefully form them so we can maintain them, because yeah, I mean, this thing, it's just wanting to produce fruit, and these figs are coming in, and I'm going to be very curious to see how they taste. And so they will not be ready until I get back, because I'm not seeing any coloration yet. Yep, still keeping some of the suckers out from below. Again, trying to keep everything sucker free. But yeah, the fig tree is actually doing really well, and I'm very excited to see what happens when this one comes in, because even though it's getting shaded, it's still, going through more and more growth spurts. As a matter of fact, probably going to have to. As a matter of fact, the one I just pulled away was a sucker, so that one's definitely going. So I was, to be honest, I was duped into thinking that this one right here was actually this one. So this one, it is going through another growth spurt at the top right there, but it's not quite yet getting as vertical as this sucker is. Only thing to report on the avocado tree, because last time we already talked about the additional forming that I was doing to get all the branches basically turned up from the main trunk, is we're getting new growth. I mean, this growth is coming in nice and healthy still, all the way up here to the top and over here also. It's just we're getting new growth, and as a matter of fact, even in some other parts of the lower branches are having new growth in, so that's a really good sign. This avocado is doing really well. Whenever I'm by Big Bertha, I just feel the magistry, and I always feel like I have to pay some homage. The guavas are coming in, nothing really new since, but she's doing really well. And yeah, I just want to try to find haven't quite dialed in how I'm going to prune her yet to maximize fruit and also maximize space, as in relation to the avocado tree and the pomegranate tree that we're about to get to. Yeah, she's doing really good. And here in about a month or so, basically September, October timeframe, we should be getting in our guava season. Okay, we had a couple of trials and tribulations with the pomegranate tree. All right, so you can I left it up back there. You can kind of see the hoe back there that was holding it from leaning towards the hill. Well, then the tree actually started leaning into the grass, and it was just like, I can't win for losing here. And so then finally what I've done is, let's go ahead and come on in here. I basically put these two stakes in the ground, try to get them in there really well, and I have it sort of tied off, and we'll go ahead and come back on out here, trying to get it vertical. But as you can see, it still has a slight turn like this towards the top, and I want to try to fix that. But at least for now, it's going to hold. It's just kind of odd, because down here it's nice and straight, but when you get towards the top, that's when it starts leaning over. So I want to try to correct that, even if I have to go ahead and basically sacrifice one of these branches that are putting a lot of the lean on the tree. I may have to do that this year, just for the overall health of the tree's lifespan. And here on the baby avocado tree, it's pretty cool. We're starting to get some additional growth there at the top, if it can focus in. Yep, so it's thriving and, you know, it's striving and trying to stay alive. And so there we go. That's all we can, you know, hope for. And as a matter of fact, it's even forming a little bark down there. So these are good signs. I just hope, you know, once it gets a little bigger, I'll feel a little bit better, because then it'll be able to get more sun. Now we're just going to go ahead and jump over to the chickens. It's not something that I can really show you, besides you can hear them being really loud. I'm starting to get a smell from the chicken coop. So what that has told me is that I need to go ahead and put some more. Oh, hold on a second. No, I didn't. This is probably what they're yelling about. I left my pop worms out here, and the ants are all up in there. All right, well, you know what that means then. I'm not going to let the ants get what I think the chicken should have. So we're about to go ahead and you know what? Let me go ahead and get the tripod out, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right, we're going to go ahead and audible real fast, just because, as you can see, the lighting isn't good in this last section, and I don't want to lose any more. So we'll basically put that next clip that I wanted to do at the very end after the outro, so you can kind of see what they do once at the very end of the video. But the papaya tree, this thing is, let's see here, it's almost at my neck level. And when we started this year, it was probably at about my waist. Again, I'm not very tall. I'm only about 5'8". And this thing really has sprouted up over the last couple of months here. It's just really growing as soon as we started getting some really good sun and heat. This thing is doing great. I really enjoyed seeing how much these leaves are just climbing for the top, trying to maximize that sun reception. And we'll just hop on over here to the orange tree here. We just we're getting in some new growth here towards the top. This is a little concerning. I am starting to get a little shriveling. Actually, it looks like it might be from when it was attempting to go to produce oranges before. So I think that's the dead that I actually see there at the end. Besides that, this is definitely some new growth. This is some new growth. So I might be just over worrying about it, sort of, because I haven't necessarily had the best experience when it's come to oranges. All right, the mango tree, still just being an absolutely beautiful tree. Even more growth coming up here at every one of these, like 7 nodes or whatever. And so I've pretty much, I think I've almost made the decision, with the exception of committing the act, which is I'm pretty sure I'm going to go sucker free on the mango tree, just because these top ones are looking so perfect, and I just feel that these are going to spread out and just provide a beautiful canopy. At least that's kind of what it looks like it's going to do. So I think that these at the bottom will just get in the way of what these up here are going to do. So like I said, I haven't necessarily made that decision yet, but that is the way I'm leaning at this time. So I'll have to think about it a little bit more while I'm on the trip. And then similar to the fig tree, I'm going to go ahead and just make the decision, or the lime tree. I'm going to try to think about it, make the decision, and when I get back, we'll just execute. Then we'll go ahead and finish up with the grapes here. The grapes, I'm kind of curious to see how the grapes going to do going into the grapes, the motion with the 60 frames per second is doing. But just there's a lot of, basically, you can kind of see in sections like this, the bugs are really starting to get to them. So it's probably getting about time that not only for us to harvest them so we can get what we can get, but also to reduce the potential fruit flies and everything else. But we still got lots of clusters over here, and definitely it's kind of the cluster. Each cluster is almost partially attacked by the bugs, but still, for the most part, overall everything is good. As a matter of fact, shoot, the bees are in here, so you know, if they bring the bees to the yard, then you know what? Hey, the milkshake might be better than yours. I don't know, maybe not. When that thing comes, it brings like a whole swarm. But yeah, so we'll just see how this goes for the end of the season. And then, like I said, I'm just really looking to see how long that these grow, because I'm still trying to get all the way to the end there. And these are slow and steady progress every year. All right, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Just to kind of refresh, this video is going to stand as a vlog to kind of timestamp where things are at right now. So when I get back, we'll kind of see how things progress or maybe regress. Yeah, it's always exciting to get back to the garden. It's kind of like it's Christmas every day. You're just unsure what surprises you're going to get. But as soon as I wrap up this video, I am going to be setting you up on the tripod and allowing you guys to see what I'm about to do with the chickens. But anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.